Shifting our focus on another big story, Bangladesh elections polling has ended an hour back in what is being described as one of South Asia's most consequential elections this year. Counting has begun immediately after voting ended. The vote comes 18 months after student-led uprising forced former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina from power. It's primarily a two-way contest between BNP and the Jamaat alliance. In fact, there was violence reported today between BNP and Jamaat supporters at Mirpur, the constituency from which Jamaat chief Shafiqur Rahman is contesting. Sheikh Hasina's Awami League has been banned from contesting the polls. There were also crude bomb explosions in two areas in Gopalganj and Mushijganj. 3 people and a child were reportedly injured. Speaking to the media after casting his vote, BNP chief Tariq Rahman said that if they come to power, they will ensure that everyone feels safe in the country. These remarks are of major significance to India, as there have been multiple instances of violence against Hindu minorities in Bangladesh. And well, my colleague Saurabh is now joining me live from Dhaka. Saurabh, you're joining us live from the epicenter of action there. Voting has ended in Bangladesh with a voter turnout of 47.9%. This is the first election since Hasina's ouster, Saurabh. While talk to us about the significance of this election, tell us also what is the sentiment and the mood on ground. Do you see this as a turning point in the country?
Absolutely. Bangladesh is on the cusp of history, and let's remember that this is not just one single election. Each voter is casting 2 votes. What does this mean? Well, firstly, they're voting for a candidate of their choice to elect a party of their choice to rule the country. The second and more important vote that they're casting is a yes or no in favor of the July Charter. That's a referendum that's taking place. This is a charter that lays down how Bangladesh will be governed, what are the principles that will be incorporated, and it'll be binding on the political party that comes to power to implement it if the charter or the referendum on the charter wins the yes vote. So that's one thing. This election has been held after months of uncertainty. Bangladesh was ruled by an interim government without a political mandate. For countries like India, engagement is difficult because there wasn't a mandate. This was only a temporary government. For neighbors like India, who view Bangladesh as a very important ally, it'll be important now to see how the relationship moves forward. It's really suffered under the interim government, so that's one point. And the third thing that everybody is talking about is the future of minorities in Bangladesh. Will they be able to live in Bangladesh in the manner that a secular country would allow them to, free, fair and secure? So these are the questions, but the election is over. Counting has started. Results are expected, or final trends are expected around 6 in the morning tomorrow.
Right, so we'll of course be tracking the results very closely with you, but thanks for joining us. All right, staying on with the story, with Sheikh Hasina in exile and the Awami League out of the race, it's now a straight battle between Tariq Rahman's BNP and Shafiqur Rahman's Jamaat-e-Islami. The BNP, contesting 292 seats and leading a 10-party alliance, enters as a front-runner in this high-stakes showdown. Our next report telling you more.
Bangladesh is heading into one of its most pivotal elections in decades, and the political chessboard has been flipped. After the ouster of Sheikh Hasina and the disqualification of the Awami League, the February 12th vote is now a 2-horse race. On one side, Tariq Rahman's Bangladesh Nationalist Party, and on the other, Shafiqur Rahman's Jamaat-e-Islami. Former allies are now squaring off as fierce competitors. With Hasina's exile and Khalida Zia's passing away, the curtains are up on Bangladesh's fabled battle of the battle. The BNP enters as the front runner. It is contesting 292 out of 300 seats. It has the widest footprint on the ballot and leads a 10-party alliance. And in some surveys, it commands support as high as 66%. Tariq Rahman son of former Prime Minister Khalida Zia, is banking on scale, structure and strong rural networks. And notably, women voters, where surveys reflect a commanding lead. On the other end is Jamaat-e-Islami, contesting 224 constituencies, leading an 11-party coalition, including the National Citizen Party, born from the 2024 student uprising. Recent polling suggests a tight electoral battle. One IILD survey shows the BNP-led alliance at 44.1% and the Jamaat-led bloc at 43.9%. Jamaat has gained ground among Gen Z and university voters, winning several campus elections. Its student wing, Islami Chhatra Shibir, is targeting young, educated demographics. As the electoral margin narrows, the BNP has sharpened its rhetoric against the Jamaat, terming it as anti-independence. The ballots will answer one question: who truly inherits the post-Hasina political landscape? Tariq Rahman or Shafiqur Rahman? Two polarizing figures, one ballot, and a nation holding its breath.
Well, my colleague Aditya Rajkol spoke to prominent Bangladeshi author Taslima Nasreen on the Yunus regime, state of Bangladesh and the future of her country. Listen.
Spoke about how Yunus is trying to claim that these are free and fair elections. But increasingly we see that the radicals, especially the Jamaat, fundamentalists, are gaining more ground. They obviously do not have any women contesting the elections. And even in the BNP, they have a little bit of a tilt towards a radical mindset. So do you really feel that democracy in true spirit after these elections can come back to Bangladesh?
I don't think so. BNP was, before BNP was with Jamaat, they ideologically, I don't think there are much differences between them, because they both use Islam to stay in power. Hasina also did the same thing. So Hasina created so many mosques and madrasas, and Hasina made madrasa degrees equivalent to university degrees. By doing this, she destroyed the education system of Bangladesh. And those people who use those mosques and madrasas, who I think that kind of factories of jihadis, those jihadis and fundamentalists actually protested against Hasina.
Right.
So it was like a Frankenstein moment. But anyway, so what I'm saying that we hoped that Tariq Zia will do something good, probably, in this kind of situation when Yunus and his supporters were destroying the country at that time, when Hasina is not allowed to come back to the country, or, I have not much hope about Hasina. But maybe some other young leaders who could change the situation of the country. But many are not allowed to, come back to the country, and the Awami League supporters were actually, many of them are killed, many of them had to leave the country. But anyway, so we have no other no other party that we could have some hope